Tom Gazzardo here, Top Leaders Coach. I'm with my friend and professional associate, Dan Malin. We're looking at business succession planning, but the key question is, I'm trying to recruit somebody. Where do I start? What do I do, Dan?
Well, you're talking about business succession planning for financial advisors, and so if you're gonna have a successor, they have to meet certain criteria. So you got to start with some very basic primary considerations. What would be the primary considerations if I was going to be your successor? What would you want to know?
So I'm looking at my ideal wish list. I'm looking
Well,
at
what's on it? What's on it? Tell me what's on it.
IXP, inexperienced producer,
Right.
experienced producer.
Okay. How about age? Is age important?
Yeah.
You don't want a 70-year-old guy that's going to succeed you,
if
right?
they're as old as me, they're
Yeah,
too
it ain't
old.
working. So how old do they have to be?
I'm looking at a range between 25 and 35.
Okay.
Okay.
40 wouldn't work?
40, okay, once again, you want to have your ideal successor
Right.
profile, so be clear about what you want and be flexible.
Correct.
You've got to look at, okay, who's going to fit my clients? Can they work in my niche market of working with retirement? Can they work with business owners? Okay, the other is personality.
Right.
The other key factor we're looking at, Dan, over and over is, okay, what are their skills?
Sure, absolutely. You have to set a profile up to know who it is you're going to be recruiting, what you're looking for, skill sets. There's also subjective issues. What motivates this person? One of the things we highly recommend is you conduct some kind of a profile. There's many profiles, there's Colby, there's DISC, there's all kinds of things. You need to know what your behavior styles are and the other person's behavior styles, which is pretty subjective, but at the end of the day, your customers are going to want somebody who mirrors your behavior style, not somebody that's totally different than you, right?
So we're looking at compatibility.
Absolutely, compatibility is critical.
Okay, I've got somebody in mind. Okay, here's what I'm
Right.
working with a guy right now. Okay, up in the northeast, let's say Philadelphia area.
Right.
Okay? And he's like, well, I want an inexperienced producer. Okay, and I'm like, well, but I want you to look at both inexperienced and experienced producer, and we walk through each of these steps.
Well, so let's talk about that for a minute. The inexperienced producer essentially is going to require a lot of training, which is not necessarily bad, but you've got to be invested in that.
Right.
That's part of your plan. When you recruit inexperience, then you have to be willing to invest in the inexperience. If you recruit experience, then you have to pay for it.
Right.
No magic. You pay for the experience, you train for the inexperience.
Okay, but experienced people bring their own problems.
Absolutely, they bring their own problems. They bring their own biases, they bring their own issues, they bring their own problems, and you sometimes have to untrain them to get them to do what you want to do. Difficult.
So once again, Dan, what I'm hearing is you've got to have a process. You want to look at who's my wish list, my ideal person, and I've got to make really good choices. I'm Tom Gazzardo. We're looking at business succession recruiting. In our next episode, we're going to look in more detail, okay, how do I make this thing happen? Let us help you take your next steps and go to the next level.